on there? Guys, we back with another one. We got to talk about this Stephen A. Smith, Pat McAfee report that just came out, that they were in a fiery, vulgar argument. And Stephen A. Smith has been talking about Pat McAfee lately, and there's always been this thing that Stephen A. Smith was going to be a bit jealous when Pat McAfee came over to the network with his following, his platform that he's bringing, and most importantly, the dollar amount that he commanded when he brought his product over, and he didn't have to really conform. He's there in a tank top. I mean, he's not really having to conform to ESPN. And when they do try to get him to get in line, he reminds them that, no, this is my brand and I'm going to do it this way. So Stephen A., he's made several attempts to say he doesn't feel any animosity towards ESPN and Pat McAfee's relationship because, I mean, in fairness, he brought something over and he didn't have to go over there. So when you can negotiate and you have bargaining chips, it's much differently. But let's get into this report a little bit. It says ESPN's Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith, two of the sports network's biggest television stars, recently engaged in an explosive argument over creative differences, according to a report from Ryan Glass-Steagall of the New York Post. And it says, per Glass-Steagall, McAfee calls Smith a MOTHEF after the two disagreed on the path of a project that Smith is working on through his own production company, Mr. SAS Productions, that will air on ESPN. They said the argument got so heated that Smith banned McAfee from appearing on his show, First Take, where McAfee had weekly Tuesday appearances scheduled during the football season. When Smith and McAfee were reached for comment, Glass-Steagall was told their animosity was resolved. And Pat McAfee said, I have nothing but love for Stephen A. I think I'm still welcome on First Take. I was scheduled through football season to join on Tuesdays. Hopefully next year that'll happen as well. And Smith was saying everything was fine between them. He said, Pat McAfee, I have no issue. And the notion that he'd be banned from First Take is BS. So that's pretty much what they had to say, but I do find it interesting. This was a topic of discussion for a long time, and Stephen A. Smith recently had some comments about Pat McAfee that went viral. I'm going to play that for y'all right now. Let's check it out.
You're competing with the guys around you. And so ESPN comes in, you talked about 2 billion views. You talked about being the man, number one for 12 years. And you see ESPN making a pivot to McAfee. Obviously great for the network. Sure. How do you, in your mindset, view a guy like McAfee who is extremely good at his job, in a lot of ways is changing the course of mainstream media and all those things from a competitive standpoint and also as a partner?
I am an aberration in this regard. I love Pat McAfee.
He's a man.
Love him to death. Love him to death. I love his swag. I love the fact that he's an honest brother. He don't give a shit. He'll let you know exactly where he stands. That's my kind of dude. That works for me. Now, is he as polished politically as me? Nope. Because he has no desire to be, number one. And number two, if we're being honest, he's white and I'm black. He didn't have to be. I had to be. So I get all of that. And I'm not knocking him for it. I get it. Pat McAfee is a sensational talent. And it would be stupid for me not to root for him because he's one of the pioneers in this business, just like Bill Simmons is, just like Joe Rogan is, and others. What they have done for themselves in the digital stratosphere speaks for itself. I'm new to this. I'm a baby. I'm approaching 550,000 subscribers in 10 and a half months. People see me, oh my God, you're averaging over 2,000 subscribers a day. And look at the views per episode. It's just climbing and climbing. And look at the consistency, the growth, especially my guy Bailey, the social media guru. I mean, he's painting this beautiful picture every day. I'm looking at the fact that my numbers pale in comparison to those folks who have been there and have like a 4, 5, 7, 8 year head start on me. Why? Because I'm looking at who's number one and why. Okay? But in the same breath, don't get it twisted. I love Pat. Pat knows that. I'm rooting for him. I help him any way I can help him. But we know who number one in linear television is. You know, no backseat. He's been number one for 12 years. People come, people go. People come, people stay. But there's a top perch. Now, you could take it away, knock on wood. It could be next year. It could be next week. It could be 2 years, 5 years from now, whatever. But since 2012, it's been me with Skip Bayless, without him, with Max Kellerman, without him, with a potpourri of contributors. It don't matter. I come to win. And when it comes to linear television, that's exactly what the fuck I have done. And so my attitude is, as long as I'm doing it, I'm going to continue to win. McAfee or no McAfee, get up or no get up. It don't matter who it is, FS1, Comcast, whatever. You come for me, I'm coming for you. I'm here to win. Digital is different because I'm a baby. I'm crawling. I'm an infant. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't even learned how to walk yet. You understand what I'm saying? Let alone run and sprint. But once I get to that point, I'm going to come for folks then too.
I think this was inevitable, right? Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee having some words. Stephen A. Smith works for ESPN and has been like the face of the network for a long time. They were struggling with content, and so with that comes a certain bravado, certain tendency to be territorial. I'll put it like that. As far as the way things goes at the network and things like that, you know, he's been able to have his input on a lot of things, and so he's working on his own thing. Pat McAfee comes over with no filter, and Stephen A is probably looking at it like, wait, you just got here. And Pat McAfee is like, I'm not really here. I'm just getting my stuff rented out, and I'm lending a hand because I've made a lot of money in this media space not being on ESPN. And ESPN really wants my audience. I didn't really crave for their audience. So I brought the bargaining chips to the table. So, that definitely sounded like it went down. We hear about these type of things happening behind the scenes all the time. And when Pat McAfee said in those quotes that he hopes to be on next year, doesn't sound 100% sure that he will based off of what transpired. You can resolve something, but decide to move forward in a different direction where you guys aren't working together the same amount as you were prior to the conflict or incident in question. But man, I think sometimes it's good to get it off your chest, say what you got to say to the next man. They may even have a better working relationship going forward. Stephen A needs somebody that can talk to him like that over there. Sometimes based off what some of the workers, some of the people that used to be working at ESPN has had to say. Now, some people have said great things about Stephen A too, so you're going to have different experiences with different people. However, some did say, he could be a bit difficult to work with, and he thinks the sun shines on him and all that. He prances around like he's all that. That's just their words, not mine. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think this is a bunch of nothing, or you think this is interesting and could cause issues down the road? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.